warm welcome to your NCFE Level 2 Certificate in Principles of Customer Service, Session 1 of 4, Principles of Customer Service and Delivery, brought to you by Solucious Equinox on behalf of Poplar Harker. My name is Phil Church and I shall be your narrator and guide for this session. This NCFE Level 2 online Certificate in Principles of Customer Service and Delivery is brought to you by Poplar Harker and Solucious Equinox Training Solutions for online learning. Visit and subscribe our YouTube channel for Solucious Equinox for more learning videos for customer service. A warm welcome to Solucious Equinox Limited and your online training session today. We sincerely hope that the sessions we have planned for you meet your individual needs and expectations. Our training courses are designed to be thought-provoking and engaging, and we encourage you to partake in the online discussion sessions in order for you to absorb as much of the learning material as possible. Our trainers are highly qualified and experienced in their respective fields of expertise, so please feel free to ask questions. Each of our trainers brings a wealth of knowledge from their previous backgrounds, and they are happy to chat with you at the conclusion of your training session today. As I said earlier on, my name is Phil Church and I worked in the public sector for 15 years as a police officer with the British Transport Police in various operational and specialist roles. I have a CMI Leadership Level 5 in Leadership and Management Diploma, and I'm also a Chartered Manager, as well as being Co-Director of Solucious Equinox Limited. I'm currently a Safeguarding Lead and Vice Chair on a governing body of an Essex Primary Academy. I hold several teaching and assessing qualifications, and I have a degree in policing through the Canterbury Christ Church University. I've also delivered levy apprenticeships and safeguarding to the third and private sectors, and safeguarding and specialist training to police forces. My co-director Jason Hunt, he was also previously a police officer, this time for 22 years with West Midlands Police, Nottinghamshire Police, City of London Police, Cayman Islands Police, Essex Police and British Transport Police. He has worked in various operational and specialist roles, and he has a CMI Level 5 Leadership and Management Diploma, and he is also a Chartered Manager, as well as being Co-Director of Solucious Equinox Limited. Jason holds several teaching and assessing qualifications, and he has a degree in policing through Canterbury Christ Church University also. He also delivers levy apprenticeships and safeguarding to the third and private sectors, and safeguarding and specialist training to police forces. The unit being covered today for this session is Principles of Customer Service and Delivery. So what does your learning journey look like? Well, this is session 1 of 4. Principles of Customer Service and Delivery. And when that is complete, it'll be followed by session 2 of 4 next week. Understand customers and understand employer organisations. And following that session, you'll have tutor support sessions. And there'll be an online assessment to complete with the questions that relate to these online programs. And once those are completed, Session 3 of 4 will be understand how to communicate with customers, understand how to develop customer relationships. And again, once that's complete, there'll be a tutor support session. And Session 4 of 4 finally will be understand how to resolve problems and deliver customer service to challenging customers, and understand how to develop working relationships with colleagues. And there'll be tutor support sessions throughout, and there'll be an online assessment for the second half of this qualification for you to complete. Once that's completed, you'll be rewarded with your qualification after it's gone through its internal quality assurance and external quality assurance checks. Completing your assignments. It is important to understand the action verbs in the assignment questions, and the action verbs for these assignments, as well as some of the others, but these are the main ones, will be define. You must give the precise meaning of a word. It will ask you to describe something. In order to describe something, you must give a detailed account of it. Explain. You need to ensure that your answer is clear, revealing relevant facts. And finally, identify. Point out and explain. Don't just list. Point out and explain, please. Your answer should establish who or what something is. Don't just give us bullet points. Explain with your answers to why you've come to that conclusion or what your findings are. We will tutor you throughout the program and help you to complete the 2 assignments. And once you've submitted your assignments online, they will be assessed. All your completed assignments will then be submitted for internal and external quality assurance. And once this process is complete, you'll be awarded your qualification. Any problems, we have a remote assistance service and we can be contacted at learners@soluciousequinox.com. And this is important, please. Your emails must be marked with NCFE customer service in the subject heading. So that way they don't get lost in amongst any other emails that we may receive from other learners. There are 2 telephone numbers that you can contact us there as well, for myself and Jason. Or you can wait for the online support sessions that we will carry out following these sessions. So the learning outcomes for this session of understanding customer service. And at the end of this session, you'll be able to explain the purpose and scope of customer service. Define the term service offer. Explain the value of a service offer to an organisation. Explain the importance of delivering consistently high quality service. And explain the importance of keeping up to date with knowledge of competitors' activities. Explain barriers to providing effective customer service. Describe the features of effective follow-up service. When working through your assessments, please base your answers on any of the following: a customer service role you have in your current job, a customer service role in a previous job, an organisation that is familiar to you, or an organisation that you have researched. The purpose of customer service is to provide good quality products and services that meet or exceed customers' expectations. Provide an efficient and polite service before and after a transaction. Treat customers with respect and consideration. Deal with any feedback, complaints, and problems effectively. The scope of customer service is very broad, as it can affect many people. There can be serious consequences if customer service is not good enough. For example, dissatisfied customers who go elsewhere for their products and services. A loss of revenue and good reputation for the organisation. Loss of jobs, security, and career development for employees. A knock-on effect on suppliers if the organisation reduces its output or fails. A knock-on effect on the local community if an employer moves away or makes its workers redundant. Have a think about what the purpose of customer service is and what it actually means, so that you can give an explanation in your answer. And have a think about what the scope of customer service is, so that you can actually give an explanation in your answer. As your assignment question is asking you, for question 1, to explain the purpose and scope of customer service. Don't forget that the purpose of customer service is to provide good quality products and services that meet or exceed customers' expectations, providing an efficient and polite service before, during, and after a transaction, and treating customers with respect and consideration, and dealing with any feedback, complaints, and problems effectively. And the scope of customer service, as I stated, was a broad subject and it can affect many people. Don't forget to include in your answers about dissatisfied customers who go elsewhere for their products or services, the knock-on effect on suppliers if the organisation reduces its output or fails, and the effect on the local community if an employer moves away or makes its workers redundant. Further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for further research. The service offer and what it means. Customers are offered a range of products and services by organisations, and the extent and limits of these is referred to as the service offer. And service offers can include a range of goods and services offered by the organisation, pricing, costs, delivery options, installation option, warranties, return policies, details of loyalty schemes such as cards, etc. And here is an example of the service offers that Solucious Equinox offers to its customers. And this is sent out via email to the customers requesting our services. Your assignment question is asking you, for question 2, to define the term service offer. So organisations offer their customers a range of products and services, and the extent and limits of the customer service that an organisation offers its customers is called its service offer. And don't forget to include some examples, such as the range of goods and services offered, pricing, discounts, installation options, warranties, return policies, and so forth. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for further research. Service offers allow organisations to differentiate themselves from other organisations operating in the same market sector, attract more businesses to the organisation, keep the organisation in the public eye, keep the organisation relevant when making announcements or offer special deals, secure and maintain customer loyalty, set high standards of customer service, meet or strive to exceed customer expectations. Your assignment question is asking you for question 3 to explain the value of a service offer to an organisation. And they are valuable to the organisation as they allow them to differentiate themselves from competitors, attract more business, keep themselves in the public eye when they make announcements or offer special deals, secure and maintain customer loyalty, set a high standard of customer service, meet and exceed customer expectations. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for further research. Meeting or exceeding customer expectation. The importance of providing high quality service to customers cannot be underestimated. Doing so will help maintain and promote and increase customer loyalty to an organisation or brand. It will reduce complaints and rejected goods or services and improve and maintain the reputation of the organisation and project a good image of the organisation and contribute to securing new business in future, profit margins, and by default, the employment of staff as a consequence. Your question for question 4A is asking you to explain the importance of delivering consistently high quality customer service. So it's important for an organisation to provide high quality customer service, as this will, for example, maintain and promote and increase customer loyalty, reduce the number of complaints, rejected goods, maintain and improve the organisation's reputation, portray a good image of the organisation, and help to secure future business, profits and employment for all concerned. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for further research. Implications of not consistently delivering high quality customer service. Well, there's loss of customers. You could see your organisation going under. Can result in poor job security because the money's not coming in, therefore they may have to make staff redundant in order to make savings. And increased complaints could lead to loss of customers because word will spread. And providing incompetent chat support, mismanaging social media, having people waiting on hold too long, compromising customers' personal privacy. These are all complaints that have been handled badly by companies across the years, and these are just some of the various amounts of feedback that have been delivered over the years. Your assignment question asking you for question 4B to describe the implications of not delivering inconsistently high quality customer service. You need to describe the implications of failing to deliver the high quality customer service. So think about the customer, the organisation, how it will not survive, poor job security, more complaints. Think about the unique references about the positive outcomes. So you need to work out what the negatives are for yourselves. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for more research. It is important to keep up to date with the activities of your competitors. And the chief executive of Audi admitted to being 2 years behind Tesla in electric vehicle technology. And that's not surprising, since Tesla has a few years of development time on the German manufacturer, who spent more time concentrating on diesel and petrol engine vehicles. And if you remember, and you're old enough to remember, the video home system, the VHS tape, iTunes came along and absolutely took over the market, and the VHS had its last shipment of tapes in the early 2000s. In fact, just before then, the DVD was around and the Laserdisc just before that, and iTunes have come along and completely seen the end of the VHS, so time and technology has moved on. Organisations can make themselves aware of their competitors' service offers by making sure their own services are reliable, competitive and dependable, and protecting their future revenues by ensuring that they are aware of changes in customer expectations, and changing their own service offer to meet the ever-changing expectations and trends. So essentially, don't get left behind. Your assignment question is asking you for question 5 to explain the importance of keeping up to date with knowledge of competitors' activities. So be aware of competitors' activities and service offers. An organisation can, for example, make sure that its service offers reliable, competitive and dependable, protecting future revenue by being aware of changes in customer expectations, and change their service offer to meet changing expectations and trends. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for further research. Barriers to effective customer service. Policies and procedures. And where these are hard to manage due to their complexity, inflexibility, and which bind staff to processes. For example, sticking rigidly to refund policies which do not cover all scenarios. Inadequate customer service systems. Organisations that do not have robust, well-staffed and well-trained customer service departments and systems are barriers to effective customer service. For example, think about a time that you have attempted to contact a company and you have simply been unable to get through, or when you did, it took a long time. Staffing problems. Staffing problems can take many forms. However, being unable to retain experienced staff can result in additional costs to constantly train replacements, or poor staff attitudes can affect service delivery. Lack of customer service culture. Organisations which lack a culture of customer service tend to have staff who are poor at meeting the demands or requirements of clients. A can-do culture should permeate through an organisation from the very top to the bottom. Poor communication. Organisations which communicate poorly to their customers are unable to deliver effective customer service, and this can take many forms, such as poor organisational communication, poor communication to staff, poor communication by staff to customers, poor use of communication methods such as media platforms. Can you think of any barriers to effective customer service? Your assignment question is asking you for question 6 to explain barriers to providing effective customer service and give 3 examples. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for research. Features of an effective follow-up service. Fast and reliable response times. Making contact with customers after transactions. Proactively keeping customers up to date about new developments. Offering incentives. Your assignment question is asking you to describe the features of an effective follow-up service. So those features can include fast and reliable response times, contacting customers after transactions for follow-up, proactively keeping customers up to date about new developments, and offering incentives, and any others you can think of. Further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for research. In this section, you'll understand how legal and ethical requirements relate to customer service. And by the end of this section, you'll be able to describe how sales and customer-related legislation and regulations affect the delivery of customer service. Describe how health, safety, and environmental legislation affects customer service delivery. Explain how ethical considerations affect customer service. Explain how equality legislation affects customer service. And describe how legislation affects the use and storage of customer information. Sales and consumer-related legislation and regulation affecting customer service delivery. The GDPR will have a number of implications on organisations and their customer service delivery. For instance, the gathering and storing of data and information is regulated by this regulation, and organisations that fail to comply are liable to prosecution and large fines. For your information, research how this legislation affects customer service delivery. The Consumer Rights Act 2015 makes it law for organisations to have certain obligations and these include stipulations products must be of satisfactory quality, be fit for purpose, match the description, be installed correctly if installation was part of the contract. For your assignment, research how this legislation affects customer service delivery. Do some further research into other regulations and legislation. Below are some that you may wish to consider. Having looked at some of the regulations and legislation, it is important staff understand what each of these entail. Organisations must have clear procedures in place, and their staff must be trained to ensure standards are being met and legislation complied with. There must be also a robust system of compliance monitoring. Do you have experience of having to comply with some of the regulations and legislation that we have spoken about? How did the organisation ensure that you were trained to a sufficient standard? Your assignment question is asking you, for question 8, describe how sales and consumer-related legislation and regulation affect the delivery of customer service. Base your answer on the GDPR and 2 pieces of sales and consumer-related legislation. Health and safety and environmental legislation will affect customer service delivery in different ways. Health and Safety and Work Act 1974, Manual Handling Regs 1992, Personal Protective Equipment Regulations 1992, Control of Substances Hazardous to Health 2002, RIDOR, Environmental Protection Act 1990, Hazardous Waste Regs, WE Regs 2013, Health and Safety at Work Act. This legislation covers the health and safety of employees at work and will impact on customer service delivery organisations are able to offer. For manual handling, staff need to be properly trained to perform tasks. An example would include staff being properly trained in manual handling to safely operate machinery or lift heavy products, for instance. Take a look at the other legislation and regulations and conduct some research on what they are designed to cover and how they will affect customer service delivery. Think about the obligations of organisations to properly train their staff and ensure compliance. Organisations also need to ensure that they have a proper system to monitor compliance, and these include systems for reporting near misses, breaches, or general concerns. Your assignment question is asking you, question 9a, to describe how health and safety legislation affects customer service delivery. Give 2 examples. And question 9b is asking you to describe how environmental legislation affects customer service delivery. Give 2 examples. Ethical considerations and customer service delivery. We have looked at some of the legislation which affects the delivery of customer service. Some of the ethical considerations we should consider include fairness, equality and diversity, standards and codes of practice, supporting ethical and sustainable, environmental and ecological impact, animal welfare, giving back to the community. This means that customers need to be aware of any restrictions and understand the ethical reasons behind the decisions. For example, to reduce emissions and food miles, staff need to be trained, be able to explain policies and procedures and offer alternative suppliers. Suppliers need to be supported to help them be as efficient and sustainable as possible. For example, working with the organisation to develop sustainable methods and offer different produce for each season. Making the case for ethical considerations with our customers. Organisations that implement ethical sourcing of produce may have to educate customers that this may affect the availability of goods, or that they may cost slightly more. And as previously stated, organisations may need to train their staff to impart ethical messaging to help their customers understand. And suppliers may need to be encouraged and supported to help bring about the changes organisations are seeking to implement. Your assignment question is asking you, for question 10, to explain how ethical considerations affect customer service. So remember, they could include fairness, equality and diversity, standards and codes of practice, supporting ethical and sustainable environmental, ecological impact, and animal welfare and giving back to the community. And can you think of any others that you may wish to consider? When providing customer service, organisations must not discriminate, and there is legislation which covers this. The Equality Act 2010, protected characteristics, age, disability or impairment, organisations must make reasonable adjustments to accommodate staff, customers and visitors with disabilities, gender reassignment, marriage or civil partnership, pregnancy or maternity, including breastfeeding. Only reasons of safety are not covered. Race, religion or beliefs, any religion, lack of religion or personal belief is protected, and sexual orientation. Practical issues such as ramps, loop systems for hearing, wide doors, accessible toilets, supportive behaviours, for example, communication skills, cultural awareness, being polite and courteous. The main objective is to treat every customer, colleague and work contact as an individual with respect and patience, whatever their background or culture. Your assignment question is asking you, for question 11, to explain how equality legislation affects customer service. So if you cover the areas of the Equality Act 2010, that should help you. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook, or use the internet for further research. How GDPR affects the use and storage of customer information. The 6 GDPR principles for retaining and storing information. Lawful, fair and transparent. There has to be a legitimate grounds for collecting the data, and it must not have a negative effect on the person or be used in a way they wouldn't expect. Limited for its purpose. Data should be collected for specified and explicit purposes and should not be used in a way someone wouldn't expect. Adequate and necessary. It must be clear why the data is being collected and what will be done with it. Unnecessary data or information without any purpose should not be collected. Accurate. Reasonable steps must be taken to keep the information up to date and change it if it is inaccurate. Not kept longer than needed. Data should not be kept for longer than is needed. and it must be properly destroyed or deleted when it is no longer used or goes out of date. Integrity and confidentiality. Data should be processed in a way that ensures appropriate security, including protection against unauthorized or unlawful processing, loss, damage, or destruction, and kept safe and secure. Compliance. Organisations who fail to comply with GDPR could be liable for a fine of up to 20 million euros, or up to 4% of their worldwide turnover of the preceding year of trading. There is a right for individuals to be forgotten under GDPR. Information should only be kept as required for business purposes. Simply gathering and retaining information is unlawful. Customer service delivery can be affected by procedures that organisations use to comply with the GDPR. For example, they may use a long list of security questions when checking identity, security passes and keypads to gain access to areas where data is kept, passwords to gain access to sensitive data. This can cause delays and irritation, but most customers will be relieved and reassured that the organisation is taking security of their data seriously. Your assignment question is asking you for question 12 to describe how the GDPR affects the use and storage of customer information. Further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for further research. In this section, we will cover understand how to deliver effective customer service. And by the end of that session, you should be able to explain the difference between customers' wants, needs, and their expectations. Explain how to identify customers' needs and expectations. Explain the importance of managing customers' expectations. Explain how to behave in a way that meets customers' expectations. Describe techniques that can be used to put customers at ease and gain their trust. And explain the importance of following up actions and keeping promises when delivering customer service. The difference between customers' wants, needs, and expectations. Imagine a customer is buying a vacuum cleaner. What the customer wants, what the customer sees is the idealistic view of which type of product or service will meet their needs for this vacuum cleaner. Needs, what the customer requires the vacuum cleaner, the product or the service to do, looking at the benefits and features that the customer needs. Expectations, what the customer expects the product, in this case a vacuum cleaner, or service to do to meet their needs. These can be realistic or unrealistic. Your assignment question is asking you for question 13 to explain the difference between customers' wants, needs, and expectations. So wants, the customer sees as their idealistic view of which type of product or service will meet their needs. Needs, what the customer requires the product or service to do, looking at the benefits and features. Expectations, what the customer expects the product or service to do to meet their needs, and these can be realistic or unrealistic. And further research can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for further investigation. Identifying customers' needs and expectations. Some of the techniques that can be used to identify customers' needs and expectations include using good questioning and listening techniques, contracts or orders, collecting and using feedback, looking at sales or usage figures, giving details about different products or services, monitoring complaints, in meetings, arranging focus groups and market research. Your assignment question is asking you for question 14 to explain how to identify customers' needs and expectations. Remember, some of these techniques can include the use of good questioning and listening techniques, contract or order, collecting and using feedback, looking at sales or usage figures, giving details about different products or services, monitoring complaints, in meetings, and arranging focus and market research. Don't just list them, tell us a bit about them. So explain what these techniques are. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for further research. The importance of managing the expectations of customers and taking those of the manager into account. Where possible and realistic, an organisation will strive to meet or exceed customers' expectations with its service offer and delivery of high quality products, services and customer service. However, expectations cannot always be met. By making sure that previous, current and potential customers are fully informed about the service offer and any significant changes, the organisation can benefit from repeat business, increased sales, a good reputation, competitive advantage, and reduce complaints and problems. Managing customers' expectations broadly means respecting each customer's individual needs and expectations, liaising with each customer to match their expectations with the right service offer for them, suggesting or offering alternatives and compromises when needed, keeping each customer informed at all stages, keeping the organisation informed about any issues so that changes can be discussed and implemented if necessary. Consider the manager's expectations. For example, making sure there is continuity and sustainability of the service offer. The line managers need to know so that they can change and develop the service offer. Your assignment question is asking you for question 15 to explain the importance of managing customers' expectations and why managers' expectations need to be taken into account. So where possible and realistic, an organisation will strive to meet or exceed customers' expectations with its service offer and delivery of higher quality products. However, expectations cannot always be met. But by making sure that the current and potential customers are fully informed, the organisation can benefit from repeat business, increased sales, a good reputation, and so forth. And managing customers' expectations broadly means respecting each customer's individual needs and expectations, liaising with each customer to match their expectations, or suggesting or offering alternatives and compromises when needed. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for research. Behaving in ways that meets customers' expectations. The attitude and appearance of staff members are extremely important when meeting and exceeding customers' expectations, and staff need excellent interpersonal and communication skills. Skills and behaviours include strong speaking, listening and writing skills, good body language, good problem solving and sales skills, the ability to liaise with a diverse range of people, excellent grooming standards, good teamwork skills, and a good level of IT skills. Your assignment question is asking you for question 16 to explain how to behave in a way that meets customers' expectations, and it's asking you to give 3 examples: before, during, and after a transaction. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for further research. Techniques that put customers at ease and gain trust. You can do this by being friendly and approachable, using active listening skills, asking questions and engaging with a customer, using open body language and good eye contact, showing empathy and understanding, be patient and responding to different communication needs, for example, if someone is hard of hearing or if English is not their first language. Your assignment question is asking you for question 17 to describe techniques that can be used to put customers at ease and gain their trust. Give 3 examples of this. So you can do this by using active listening skills, being friendly and approachable, asking questions and engaging with a customer, using open body language and good eye contact, showing empathy and understanding, and being patient and responding to different communication needs, for example, if someone's hard of hearing or English is not their first language. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for further research. When delivering customer service, following up and keeping promises can have several positive benefits. If you look at the situation that Ryanair found themselves in, Ryanair were named the worst brand for customer service in a Which survey. First Direct took the top slot in their poll, while Ryanair landed with a large bump into last place for best and worst brands for customer service, and Barclays Bank took a walloping. They were given very bad customer service reviews. When delivering customer service, following up and keeping promises can have several benefits, including customer satisfaction can be improved and maintained, goodwill is promoted, customer loyalty is encouraged and improved, the organisation gains a positive reputation for customer service, increased business from positive recommendations and feedback, lower chances of complaints and possible compensation costs. The implications when customer service is not delivered as promised. Failing to follow up and keep promises leave a bad impression and can negatively affect the customer relationship, sometimes forever. Negative effects could include, for example, the customer feeling that they do not matter and that their views do not count. Lack of trust in the staff member and the organisation. A bad reputation for unreliability. Customers going elsewhere and refusing to recommend the organisation. Time-consuming and expensive legal action if the problem escalates. Your assignment question is asking you for question 18A to explain the importance of following up actions and keeping promises when delivering customer service. And 18B is asking you to explain the implications when customer service is not delivered as promised. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for further research. In this section, we will cover Understand Customer Service Delivery. And by the end of it, you'll be able to explain the relationship between customers' needs and expectations and customer satisfaction. Describe the features and benefits of an organization's products and/or services. Explain the importance of treating customers as individuals. Explain the importance of balancing promises made to customers within the needs of an organization. Explain when and to whom to escalate problems. Describe methods of measuring their own effectiveness in the delivery of customer service. Relationship between customers' needs and expectations and customer satisfaction. Customer expectations are governed by customer needs. In plain English, a customer approaches a business or your internal department with a specific need for a product or service. From this specific need comes a specific expectation. Customer needs and expectations are directly linked to customer satisfaction. Therefore, when a customer approaches a high-end vehicle brand, they expect to pay premium prices for a premium product, and there is an expectation that they will receive a commensurate premium customer experience. If customer needs and expectations are met, satisfaction will be high. As the survey for car manufacturers on the right shows, customer needs and expectations are not always matched by satisfaction levels. As you can see, several premium vehicle brands have performed poorly. There are, of course, a number of factors, including sales volumes, which affect the results. However, the results should be worrying for the premium brands. And the premium brands can be seen circled here, such as Volvo, Volkswagen, Mercedes-Benz, Land Rover, Jaguar, and so forth. BMW being right at the bottom of the JD Power survey for customer service satisfaction, and it is a premium brand. Therefore, if customer needs and expectations are not met, satisfaction will be low, irrespective of their initial wants. Your assignment question is asking you for question 19 to explain the relationship between customers' needs and expectations and customer satisfaction. So customers' needs are based on their specific requirements of the products or services. Customers' expectations are what the customer reasonably expects to happen when they make a purchase and perform the transaction. Customer satisfaction is a measurement of how well the products or services provided meet or exceed customers' expectations. It is an abstract concept and can be very subjective, with customers having their own individual views, standards, and concerns. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for further research. The importance of treating customers as individuals. In addition to the legislative requirements placed on organisations, customers may have requirements that are specific. For instance, customers may also have individual requirements relating to where they live, for example, influencing where they choose to use service. Their transport arrangements, for example, having no car and being able to get to an appointment for a service. Their size and general health, for example, causing difficulty with mobility when planning how to access products and services. Their income, for example, influencing their choice of products, financial arrangements and payment terms, their childcare and other family commitments. For example, families wanting holidays during the school breaks only. Who lives in their household, for example, wanting products that are suitable for a large family. Whether they own or rent their home, for example, influencing permanent fixtures, such as replacement windows. Personal tastes, likes and dislikes, for example, preferring certain colours and styles of products. How they dress and present themselves, for example, expressing individual choice about clothes, jewellery, tattoos or piercings. By treating customers as individuals, customer service can be enhanced and be more effective. Organisational benefits in understanding these can include more accurate identification of customers' needs and expectations, increased customer satisfaction, improved customer relationships and loyalty, compliance with legislation, a good reputation for the organisation. Your assignment question is asking you for question 20 to explain the importance of treating customers as individuals. Don't forget the Equality Act 2010 mentioned covers differences and plus other differences that are not covered by the Act. So they may have individual requirements relating to where they live, their size, their general health, their income, their childcare and other family commitments, who lives in their household, whether they own or rent their home, their personal likes, tastes and dislikes. And there are many others if you can think of those. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for research. Features and benefits of products. Benefits: advantage of a product or service. When Solucious Equinox, Sets Limited, entered into an agreement to deliver your qualification, we were able to offer a product and service which brought benefits for the customer, Poplar Harker. The benefits for Sets Limited were able to design all this training material required to teach this qualification. Teach the qualification and assess the qualification, a combination of products and services. As all elements required to deliver this qualification were being offered by one supplier, this brought cost savings and a one-stop source. Features and benefits of products. Benefits: in some instances, benefits are more important to customers than products and features. Discounts on multiple purchases, for example. For example, affordability, low running costs, safety or prestige. Features such as characteristics, attributes and qualities of product or service. Example, colour, size, ease of use. Features suggest how a product or service will provide its benefits. Features may help customers choose one product or service over another. Your assignment question is asking you for question 21 to describe the features and benefits of an organisation's products and or services. Further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for further research. Balancing promises to customers with the needs of the organisation. You may wish to go the extra mile to give good customer service. However, know what offers, if any, you are authorised to make. Are you authorised to make those promises? Don't overpromise. Don't promise what you can't deliver. Know that you can deliver whatever it is you are offering, and this is basic good customer service. Keep customers informed. This is basic good customer service. Let customers know about changes or updates to their order. This is basic good customer service. Give the customer regular updates to let them know that you are working on their issue. This is basic good customer service. Follow through on actions. Again, this is basic good customer service. Apologize. This is basic good customer service. Fully understand the organization's terms and offers. Are you authorized to make those promises? Can you think of a time that you've been to an organization where these have been failed to deliver to you? Your assignment question is asking you for question 22 to explain the importance of balancing promises made to customers within the needs of an organization. Further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for further research. When things don't go right, when should you escalate a problem? Have you tried everything you know to resolve the problem? You've reached a point that you don't think you can help anymore. Someone with more product or service knowledge you could consult. Consult an organizational chart if there is one. Choose the right person. Who could help resolve the problem that you have? You must direct this to the right person. Be specific. Offer solutions. Customers and your employer will always like their staff to offer solutions to problems wherever possible. And follow up. Make sure you follow up even if you've passed the problem on to somebody else. Always ensure that you chase up and find out what's going on with that situation. Specifically, when a decision is needed that is outside of your limits of authority, when a customer requests something that's outside the limits of your responsibility, when dealing with complaints or problems that are outside the limits of your authority, when you do not have enough knowledge, experience, or skill to be able to deal with something on your own. The procedures will also show to whom you should escalate problems. For example, the line manager, team leader, or supervisor, a more experienced team member, someone from a different team who understands the issue, or a staff helpline or help desk. Your assignment question is asking you for question 23 to explain when and to whom to escalate problems. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for further research. Different methods used to measure the effectiveness of your customer service delivery. There are different ways in which your effectiveness can be measured when you deliver customer service. It is important to understand the limitations of each method, and rarely would your performance be based solely on any one of those in isolation. Generally, employers will utilize the following methods to gauge your performance: customer feedback, peer feedback, such as 360, or performance reviews carried out whether it be quarterly, biannually, or annually. But it also includes sales figures, levels of repeat business and retention of customers, website and social media activity and media comments, analysing competitors' activities and sales, complaint levels, feedback during the appraisal process, Individuals can measure their own effectiveness using similar methods, for example, gaining feedback from their line manager, reviewing sales targets and analysing results, reading customer complaints. It's worth remembering that highly motivated staff are a business asset because they provide higher productivity, better organisational performance, excellent customer service, good organisational reputation, and the ability to attract top candidates for employment. And with that brings financial stability for the organisation and therefore the confidence to forward plan for the organisation, knowing that they have the correct people in and the right people in to do the job. Your assignment question is asking you for question 24 to describe methods of measuring your own effectiveness in the delivery of customer service and is asking you to give 3 examples. So don't just list, we need a description of each, please. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for further research. In this section, we will be covering understand the management of customer service information. And by the end of this section, you'll be able to explain that customer service information can be used, explain the importance of systems to manage customer service information, explain the uses of systems to manage customer service information, identify the features of an effective customer complaints process, and describe the uses of customer complaints process. How customer data can be used in compliance with GDPR. Personal information is protected by the General Data Protection Regulation, and it can only be used in connection with the products or service provided by the organisation. It can be used for processing the service or product delivery and after service, assisting with marketing and promotions, developing relationships with customers, improving customer service, market research. Don't forget, if a customer wants their data erased, the organisation which possesses it must comply. Your assignment question is asking you for question 25 to explain how customer service information can be used, making reference to the GDPR. So personal information being protected by the General Data Protection Regulation can only be used in connection with products or services provided by the organisation, for processing the service or product delivery and after service, developing relationships with customers, improving customer service, market research. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for further research. The importance of systems to manage customer service information, such as computer databases, the organisation's own software, specialist customer relation management or CRM software, paper files and card indexes, secure interactive websites, cloud-based internet storage and applications. A well-designed and efficient management system is important so that information is easy to locate when it is needed. Authorised people can access data easily. Efficient service can be given. Follow-up actions can be tracked effectively. Information is secure and unauthorised people cannot gain access. it complies with legislation and regulations. Your assignment question is asking you for question 26 to explain the importance of systems to manage customer service information. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for further research. The uses of systems to manage customer service information can target customers for marketing purposes if permission is given. Monitor spending and buying habits, for example, through tracking supermarket loyalty card use. Review and analyse sales patterns, for example, to see how a new product sells during its first 3 months on the market. Review and analyse how services are being used, for example, looking at attendance records for a college. Have all customer details to hand when processing a transaction. And a CRM system can be integrated with other IT systems to bring different functions together, for example, sales, warehousing, and ordering. This can produce a more efficient ordering process and financial administration. But remember the GDPR. Your assignment question is asking you for question 27 to explain the uses of systems to manage customer service information. So for targeting customers for marketing purposes, if permission is given, to monitor spending and buying habits, for example, through tracking supermarket loyalty card use. Review and analyse how services are being used, for example, looking at attendance records for a college, and having all customer details to hand when processing a transaction, and many more. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for further research. Features of a customer complaints process include standardized processes for who deals with complaints, what each staff member is allowed to say and agree, timescales for resolution, how to deal with each situation and which solutions can be offered, when to escalate the problems up the management line, and what happens if the organisation cannot agree a satisfactory outcome with the customer, and the customer's rights under consumer legislation, customer statutory rights, and notes on how to deal with complaining customers. Your assignment question is asking you, for question 28, identify the features of an effective customer complaints process. Please don't just make a list. So explain with them, identify and explain. And some of those features can be included, for example, who deals with the complaints, what each staff member is allowed to say and agree, the timescale for the resolution, and how to deal with each situation and which solutions can be offered, the customer's statutory rights, and notes on how to deal with complaining customers. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for further research. Uses of a customer complaints process, the benefits. Customers will feel valued and confident about the organisation's ability to take issues seriously and with respect. They will be able to see how the process will work until a resolution is agreed. This can help to diffuse a situation and stop a complaint becoming more serious, as they can see how their feedback is being taken seriously. The organisation can use the complaints process to identify areas of weakness. This can lead to changes and improvements that benefit everyone. A well-run, transparent process can also help limit the damage to the organisation's reputation, as the customer can see that nothing is being hidden. Staff members use the complaints process to deal with potentially awkward situations, knowing that they are following agreed and established procedures. This should give them the confidence when faced with difficult and negative situations and enable them to deal with issues calmly and with authority. Your assignment question is asking you for question 29 to describe the uses of a customer complaints process. And using a standardized customer complaints process can have several benefits. For example, customers feel valued and confident. Their issues will be taken seriously and with respect, and they can see how the process will be working until a resolution is agreed. And it can help diffuse a situation and stop a complaint becoming more serious, as they can see how their feedback is being taken seriously. And there are many more. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook, and use the research internet for further information. In this section, we will cover understand the relationship between customer service and a brand. And by the end of this section, you'll be able to explain the importance of a brand to an organisation. Explain how a brand affects an organisation's customer service offer. Explain the importance of using customer service language that supports a brand promise. And identify their own role in ensuring that a brand promise is delivered. The importance of a brand to an organisation. Brand differentiates from other products or services. Customers know what to expect. Brand brings customer loyalty and makes an organisation memorable. It brings familiarity and increases organisation's profile and value. But what is in a name? Take our name, Solucious Equinox. Some of our customers think Solucious is Latin and ask what it means. It is not Latin, but it's memorable, and it's a play on words for solutions. Equinox suggests a new beginning, which it was for the founders of this company. The title shows that the business has an online and real-world presence. There is also another version of this logo. The use of dark blue denotes the company's origins in policing. The globe features an alignment, and this is repeated. This denotes our founding strapline, aligning your training needs. This is an abbreviated version of our full logo, and it is used in various forms on our products. Our other company colour is grey, and this is featured on all our products and documents. The colour is modern and contemporary. Your assignment question is asking you for question 30 to explain the importance of a brand to an organisation. A brand is important to an organisation because the brand image reflects the image of the organisation. It's a major part of the organisation's identity, and an impression of a brand goes a long way to establishing our expectations of the products and services offered. And this is vital for organisations because they know how to manage their customers' needs and expectations based on the brand promise they make and deliver. Having a brand enables an organisation to position itself in the market and promote and protect itself, and this does this by establishing legal protection of unique product features, giving customers a specific perception of the organisation, establishing its place in the marketplace and displaying how it's different by its competitors, and encouraging customer loyalty. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook, or use the internet for further research. How a brand affects an organisation's customer service offer. Customer service can be part of a brand. Solucious Equinox are offering as part of their brand name a solution to a customer's training needs. In this example, Tesco are making a brand promise that every little helps. The importance of customer service language that supports a brand promise. Although Solucious Equinox Limited may be unfamiliar to you, other well-known brands build customer trust through brand consistency. Can you think of other brands which use customer service language that supports a brand promise? Your assignment questions are asking you, for question 31, to explain how a brand affects an organisation's customer service offer. And question 32 is asking you to explain the importance of using customer service language that supports a brand promise, and how people perceive a brand can have a big influence on the service offer. If a brand is seen as prestige, high-end, expensive, the organisation will have to make sure that its service offer supports that if it wishes to attract the same types of customer. There are two detailed examples: designer watches and a family pub restaurant. On the positive side, if previous, current and potential customers are happy to identify with the brand, they will be happy to accept the service offer, as this is seen as part of the brand. They will feel comfortable about what the brand gives them, and usually their expectations will be met. On the negative side, a brand can be a problem when trying to deliver customer service offer. If people perceive an organisation as being too upmarket, exclusive or expensive, potential customers may avoid it, to think they will not fit in or be able to afford the services and products. And there are some examples of phrases to use and avoid. Using the right customer service language is important as it helps to reassure and put customers at ease, but it does not put them down or confirm or exceed their expectations. It builds a relationship with the customer, supports the identity of the brand, and confirms the link between the customer, the brand, and the organisation, and focuses staff members on the expected services and standards on the brand promise. Your role is vital in ensuring that a brand promise is delivered. There is very little point in a company promising to deliver a high quality service to its customers if staff do not buy into the same ethos. This is a complex subject as it links into many aspects which are not covered in this particular qualification. However, to summarise some of the factors which contribute to this particular subject: what motivates employees? It is worthwhile looking at Maslow's theory on this particular subject. Are employees sufficiently motivated with pay, recognition, training and support? How loyal are employees to their employers? Does the employee understand the strategic direction of the company and the part they play in delivering this? Once these points have been established, the key question can be asked: how are you responsible for representing the organisation by fulfilling each of the promises made to customers? Team leaders need to work with their team members to make sure that they are clear about what the brand promises, understand what the brand means to the organisation, follow the organisation's procedures about how to deliver the brand promise, have thorough and up-to-date knowledge about the brand and all of the related products and services, and treat each customer as an individual. Use appropriate customer service language. Remember to take appropriate follow-up actions and keep promises, and escalate any problems or issues as soon as possible so that the brand is not compromised. Your assignment question is asking you for question 33 to identify your own role in ensuring that a brand promise is delivered. So staff need to be clear about what the brand promise is and understand what the brand means to the organisation, and follow the organisation's procedures about how to deliver the brand promise, having thorough and up-to-date knowledge about the brand and all of the related products and services. treating each customer as an individual, and using appropriate customer service language, and take follow-up actions and keeping promises and escalating any problems or issues as soon as possible so that the brand is not compromised. And further reading can be found in your qualification handbook or use the internet for research. This concludes the first of the 4 sessions relating to your qualification. In your next presentation, we will be covering the following topics: understand customers, understand employer organisations. You would have been sent by email a time, date and a link for you to log on for the teaching sessions which accompanies this presentation. And to get the most from your learning journey, please ensure you log on to this online session with your trainer. We hope that you found this presentation useful, and we encourage you to use the unit handbooks which are accessible in PDF format from your e-portfolio to support your studies, and ensure that you visit and subscribe to our online Solucious Equinox channel, our SETS channel where you can be notified of the new and upcoming videos for this course. Thank you for listening. Any questions? Our remote assistance service can be found at learners@soluciousequinox.com, and our emails must be marked with NCFE customer service, and our telephone numbers are listed there for you to use. For feedback on this session, you can either contact us at learners@soluciousequinox.com or leave us a comment on our YouTube channel.